Hello there everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another Star Wars news update video. This update is pretty important, and with Ahsoka just a week away, I gotta say, I am getting more and more excited as more information and trailers are revealed. So we recently just got the official announcement of the 6 people who will be directing episodes within the show, as well as what episodes they will be directing. Now, most of the people on the list have a good track record and history with directing Star Wars and the live-action Star Wars shows, so I'll be going over that information as well. Unfortunately, there is one director missing from this list who personally is my favorite director for the live-action Star Wars shows, so I'll be getting into who that is later. But before I get into these, I just want to quickly ask if you could give this video a like, as it really does help out the channel a lot, and comment down below how excited you are for Ahsoka and what your hopes are for the show. Again, it just helps out the channel, and I really do appreciate all of your guys' support. So first, amongst the directors, the runtimes for the first 3 episodes also got revealed. This alone isn't worth making an entire video over, and so I just thought I'd throw it in here real quick before we get into the main subject. So episode 1 is going to be 54 minutes long. I think this is a great time for the pilot episode, as I do believe there will be a lot of catching up to do, as well as getting the casual audience who may not have seen Star Wars The Clone Wars or even Star Wars Rebels to get a better understanding of who Ahsoka is and why she is important to the Star Wars saga. And like I said in my last video, not just some random character who survived Order 66. A theory I had was we will see Clone Wars flashbacks within the first or even second episode, and this runtime makes me believe this even more. With that, episode 2 is going to be 42 minutes, and episode 3 is going to be 34 minutes. I don't have much to say regarding these runtimes, but I have seen some disappointment amongst others with the rather short episode 3 runtime, especially as these numbers are after credits, but quality should always come first over quantity. We've seen amazing episodes of Star Wars that are rather short, and equally so, we have also had short episodes that just sucked. So let's now talk about the directors of Ahsoka and their past work with Star Wars, as well as the one director who I am disappointed is missing from this list. To start, we all know Dave Filoni, who wrote the show, will also be directing it, but we now know officially that he will be directing episodes 1 and 5. Again, going off of my theory, this would make sense to be the episodes that Anakin Skywalker shows up in. As I said in my last video, I believe he will show up in a flashback sequence super early on in the season, and now potentially even episode 1 that Dave is directing, and would then show up later as a Force ghost to help Ahsoka and give her courage in another episode. I'm also pretty glad that Dave is not the only director for the show. I know there was a lot of talk and theories about it, but I just think it's nice to get an array of different visions and talent for the Star Wars live action shows. But the Ahsoka episode in The Mandalorian Season 2 that Filoni directed is one of my favorites, and in my opinion, one of the best looking. So continuing on, Steph Green is going to be directing episodes 2 and 3, and he also directed episode 2 of The Book of Boba Fett, which, as much as I disliked that show, his directing was very well done. I know a lot of people who claim that this is their favorite episode from that show. Peter Ramsey is directing episode 4 and has directed The Mandalorian Season 3, episode 5. I thought this episode was fun. I don't recall having many problems with it, but like the Book of Bob, I just was really disappointed with Season 3 of Mando. But at the end of the day, that's not always the fault of the director. Episode 6 will be directed by Jennifer Getzinge, and this will actually be her first Star Wars project to work on. She doesn't have any previous experience with Lucasfilm. And with that, episode 7, we have Mr. Patel. I have no idea who this guy is, and like Jennifer, this will be his first Star Wars project, and so I don't really have much to say on these two, but I do look forward to seeing how these new directors adapt themselves into the world of Star Wars. And finally, my personal favorite director for Ahsoka, we have Rick Famuyiwa, who will be directing episode 8, the finale. Rick is an amazing director and made some of the greatest Mandalorian episodes. So far, he's done episode 2 and 6 of season 1, episode 7 of season 2, and did episodes 1, 7, and 8 of season 3. I am very glad to have him on board once again, but now for the finale of Ahsoka. I've seen many people talk about their wish to have him direct his own Star Wars movie, and hey, perhaps this is leading up to that. So there we go. There's the 6 directors for Ahsoka. I think it's a good, solid list, and I'm curious on how the 2 brand new directors will shine and what their talent and style will bring us. But with this, there is a director missing that I am pretty disappointed about, this being Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, again, the Book of Boba Fett was the Book of Boba Fett, but Bryce's episode with The Mandalorian was simply fantastic and beautifully directed. I've been saying since that episode premiered that she would be a perfect fit for a Star Wars movie with a relatively high budget. I think her style would work well with some sort of Old Republic film, maybe even the High Republic if they're ever going to do anything with that era in Star Wars. But hey, other than that, I do think it's a solid lineup for the Ahsoka show, and it does give me more confidence in the show. It's just a week away, and I am pretty excited. I am trying to stay cautiously optimistic. I've been let down a lot by Star Wars and the Disney Plus shows, so I'm always getting excited for these, and then the shows release and I'm disappointed, and it just is kind of rinse and repeat. But they have made Andor, they have made the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, so that alone gives me hope, and I do really like Dave Filoni, so we will see what happens with that. What do you guys think about these directors? Let me know your thoughts about them down below, and I hope you all enjoyed this news update video. I'm very much looking forward to Ahsoka, and again, if you could, just please be sure and leave a like on it if you did enjoy it, and if you're new, why don't you go ahead and subscribe for more Star Wars news, theories, essays, and more, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.